Thank you for listening to KOFA Yuma. Whether it is at 94.7 FM or 1320 AM on a radio, or on your phone with the KOFA app, or on your computer with borderradioaz.org, we are glad that you've chosen us. Stay tuned for What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter. It's 10 o'clock.
If Border Radio were a commercial station, we'd probably play something other than the music you hear now, and of course, play commercials. But you probably listen to Border Radio because we're not that. We're non-commercial community radio. But the only way we can do this is when you choose to support it. Visit borderradioaz.org/donate to give today.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we are joined first by Tony Badilla, who's a Yuma County Office of Emergency Management leader.
What emergencies?
I don't know. You mentioned going to war, but I don't think he's going to be in charge
That's
of
where my brain goes.
I don't know. Maybe other emergencies.
Okay.
As well as
Nurse Jackie Ruiz from Yuma Nursing and Rehab about their teen winter program.
So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. And you can stream right now on the Border Radio Facebook page and KAWC YouTube page. And email us at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering solutions for those who value financial planning. YIVWM.com.
Chili from Philly. Unique Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we are joined by Tony Badilla, who's in charge of all emergencies. So if you have an emergency out there, this is the man you're going to talk to. No, I think that's too much.
Yeah, when you call 911, it goes straight to his cell phone. It goes straight
to his cell phone, and he gets you and takes care of you. No, you are the for the Yuma County, the emergency director. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm the director of emergency management.
Management. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we like to do, and I'm going to get your mic a little bit closer. All right.
Yeah, she's scooted.
Yeah. We like to get to know our guests. That's what we do here on the show. So lifelong Newman, you told me off air.
That's correct. Born and raised.
Born and raised. So what area, what hood, what barrio?
Well, I grew up out in the Yuma Valley until I was about 12 years old. And then we moved up into the city, the big city, lived in the manors for the rest of
okay. So
youth,
like,
and then moved on.
Mary, Donna.
Yep.
Which one?
I was on La Mesa Street.
La Mesa.
Barbara and Donna.
Okay. Yeah. I know where that's at. So was that KOFA? Did you go to KOFA?
I went to KOFA High. I graduated as a KOFA King.
Oh, right.
Cool.
What year?
1980.
1980. All right. That's when I was born.
I was born in 86.
Well,
I wasn't a thought yet. Well,
Yeah.
cool. KOFA. Did you like it?
oh yeah, I loved going to KOFA. I was a KOFA King, so were my other two brothers. My sister was a criminal. She was a little older than us when we lived in the valley. She graduated from there.
So there's like family feuding.
and my mom was a criminal too.
Oh, so was my
yeah,
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're young, did you want to manage emergency? Is that is that something like when when all hell broke loose, did people turn to you like, what do we do? And you're like, wait a minute.
I got this, guys.
You're 6 years old and you're like,
Yeah.
I have everything
Everyone
under
get
control.
water and batteries.
I might have been the guy they went to when I was a kid, but as I grew up, I decided to get into law enforcement.
Oh.
So I worked for the City of Yuma Police Department, retired out of there after 26 years.
Well, did
Or,
you
excuse me,
join
25
like
years.
right out of high school?
I actually, at the time, I was probably one of the youngest hires they ever had. I was 21 in a couple months when I got hired by the police department, went to the academy, and I was fortunate to have a good career there. I retired as a sergeant out of there. I worked various roles there as not only working patrol officer, worked a lot of night shifts.
Wow.
Then I moved on and I was a motor officer. Back then they had a DARE program. I was a DARE officer.
Oh, you did the DARE, huh?
Yeah, I did the DARE, and then I went back and got promoted, and I was in charge of various units, investigations, juvenile investigations, and then later on was a school resource supervisor.
What year were you at juvenile investigations?
Juvenile investigations went probably around the late 80s, early 90s. I was one of the younger sergeants at the time.
Okay. So like how late into the 90s?
Probably around 95.
95? Oh, so you've investigated some of my friends.
Probably.
Yeah, no,
some of mine
definitely.
too, though.
Huh?
Some of mine
Some
too.
of yours too. No, you've definitely invested. I grew up in Okie Town, so yeah,
Okay.
you've definitely have probably
I
investigated.
have friends and family over there.
Oh, do you? Yeah. Well, the Manners is pretty
close.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
adjacent to Okie Town, and
Right.
so. But when you were younger, was that law enforcement? That was a dream of yours? Was that something that a passion or?
Yeah, it was kind of, I was looking for a career, and I was actually looking in the military at the same time.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
when I was I actually worked for a Crane School District at the time, and they brought in some officers. They were detectives. They were doing back then they called it officer friendly school. Started talking to them, and they said, "Hey, how about applying for us?" And I was a young guy, so I looked at it and became a reserve officer for the police department. Before I was even 21, I was a reserve officer for them. Went to COFA again, to the academy. They had it there at COFA.
Oh,
and
so in high school you took
no,
did.
it wasn't in high school,
It was
but they had the
after.
academy
Yeah.
at COFA. So
Oh,
I went
okay.
back.
Wow.
Yeah, they were
Oh.
the academy there at
Okay.
the high school at night and on weekends.
Oh, okay.
And then finished that up, and then the police department hired me back. And guess what? They sent me to Tucson, back to the academy again, because we had to graduate from the state academy.
Oh,
gotcha.
they're like,
Went
not
to that.
enough.
The one at
Right.
Kofa wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
huh?
One at COFA was a local one. Actually, it was a lot to me. It was more academically tougher.
Really?
Physically not as tough, but
Yeah.
academically tougher.
Oh, gotcha.
So tell me about the academy. What was it like?
Well, back then it was, I think it was 11 weeks. I think now they're up to like 18 or 19. I'm not sure what the weeks are now, but it was the one in Tucson was more physically challenging and also academically, but it wasn't as tough as the one in COFA. But we learned, basic laws of arrest. We
Yeah.
learned constitutional law. We learned,
Yep.
different types of things. ARS, which is Arizona State, ARS, Arizona State. The laws
I
that
don't
are
know.
there
Yeah,
for the
I
laws.
gotcha,
And then
yeah.
Title 4, which is
Mhm.
liquor, Title 13, which is criminal, and then Title
Whoa.
28, which is traffic. We learned a lot of those things. We learned how to make stops. We learned
Yep.
how to deal with people. Things
Oh, yeah.
like
There's
that.
a legal way to
Mhm.
do all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Now they've added a lot more to it. They got mental health crisis
Oh.
intervention. They're
That's
doing a lot
right.
more things, communication, things like that they didn't do back then.
Mhm.
So,
She just said, get down.
yeah, back then it was more. Well, sometimes you were by yourself, so your
Wow.
communication was probably one of the more important things you can do.
That's
your
right.
mouth.
So when
It can
you're
get you in trouble and get you out of trouble.
yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
So when you're younger on the force, any like anything exciting on the first year or something? Any close calls or
He's all
Well, my first day on my
First
own.
day?
My first
What
day on my
happened?
own.
wow,
Yeah,
he
we
went
had
to
a-
first day.
We had a homicide, and I was the one who took the report. Unfortunately, we did make an arrest in it, and I'm not going to go into detail on it.
Yeah.
but that was my first case, really.
First
Whoa.
case, first day,
Yeah.
somebody was murdered.
I didn't investigate the whole thing. I took the
Mhm.
basic report. I was the
Yeah.
one initially there, and then we called detectives out, and
Mhm.
they came in.
But
and
to
took
see all
over.
that on day one,
Right, day
man.
one on my own. Yeah.
Wow.
What was that like day one on your own? Like,
Were you scared?
Yeah, was it?
Well, they kind of prepare you for it, and my role was pretty basic. I wasn't getting into the weeds and stuff. So my basic thing was, this is what happened. This is what I got to. We called detectives out. They came in and took
And
over the
they do everything
investigation.
else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So, but did it make you like, okay, am I sure I really want to do this, or was it
No.
like, okay, I got
No,
this?
this
I think
is
I
exciting.
got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, I moved on. I was in juvenile investigation for a little bit as an investigator, and then later
So,
on,
what
I
made
got
you
into
move that to that?
It's just time one thing about law enforcement, at least with the Yuma Police Department, you have the opportunity to change jobs every couple
Mhm.
years. So if you get bored with something
Yeah.
or you don't feel like you want to do something, you can actually switch over to something
cool.
else.
So, what was it like with the juvenile being in charge of that?
Well, I wasn't in charge of it at the time. Later
Oh,
on,
okay.
I was. Yeah, but when you're dealing with juveniles, it makes it a little more difficult than when you're dealing with the adults,
Uh-huh.
because you're not only dealing with the kids, you're dealing with their parents, you're dealing with the schools sometimes, and you're dealing with other people that are involved in that with juvenile crimes. Juvenile court's a little different because they are trying to rehabilitate those kids, and locking them up's not always the answer. It's
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get them
Yeah.
to see what's going right and and how to
Exactly.
move in the right
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
So what was it like your first few days with the juvenile then?
Yeah, it's a typical, the same type of work. We're just getting the reports later, and we're doing the follow-up investigation. And with juvenile crimes, it's not only juveniles, but also we were dealing with crimes against juveniles. So we're dealing
Oh,
with child
okay.
molest, homicide,
Oh, geez.
juveniles, things like that. When I was the supervisor, we did a lot of that stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, gotcha.
So it takes a special investigator. I had
Yeah.
investigators under my belt, and they last a couple of years, especially when we deal with child crimes.
Yeah. That's,
They usually
hard.
last a couple of years. There's one of the investigators that still works for Amberley's place, and really good guy, and he's still doing some good work for them. So he's one of the few that have made it many years doing that.
Yeah, that's got to be really hard to watch that stuff, see that stuff, and know that like this is happening.
Correct.
That's not something I could do.
Right.
My hat's off to you guys.
Yeah. So what did you do after the juvenile?
Oh, I was a traffic sergeant. I worked in traffic. We did, accidents back then. We didn't have civilian accident investigators initially. And so we did accidents and investigations of fatalities, things like that.
So was it one of those things, because you mentioned about getting bored? Did you get bored on the juvenile side and want to go to traffic? Traffic seems more boring to me, but...
Well, back in those days, we were able to stay in a role for just a couple of years, and then we had to move on.
Oh, you had to move on.
Rotation.
Oh.
Okay, I haven't done traffic yet.
Yeah, so we just moved into different areas.
So what was traffic like? Like accidents?
Yeah, accidents, taking reports. I mean, it's a lot of math, doing some reconstruction of those accidents, trying to determine who's at
Oh, that's hard.
See who's at fault.
I feel like that's hard.
Yeah. See who actually committed the violations. We don't really call it fault, but who gets cited for what reasons. If somebody turns left in front of somebody at a green light, they're failing the yield when making a left.
And you're saying you do that with math, huh?
Well, math, some of them, if you have a major accident and you want to do speed calculations, there's drag factor, how to determine how fast a car is going when there's an accident, how much crush factor. They've now got a bunch of computer programs. They've also got machines now, the computerized data where they can go out and map these things out off of computers and using pretty much like a surveyor would. They map out the incident. So that's a new thing, new technology.
And how long did you do that?
Probably about 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 years, and then where'd you graduate?
I went back to the schools, worked in the school services. I oversaw the DARE program.
That's when you're doing the DARE.
And then the school resource officer program. I was the first school resource officer certified in Yuma County. And then by the time I left, we had probably 14 to 20, I'd say somewhere in there, of school resource officers working in all the schools. And
so you helped implement that program, or you're just the first one to
I would say,
part?
I'm not going to say I take all the credit, but it was also the officers coming in. They went through National School Resource Officer School and got certified. And then we initially started out, believe in the high schools. Back then we just had Kofa, Yuma, and Cibola. And then we added Gila Ridge later on, and then Somerton, San Luis, and those are overseen by their agencies in those jurisdictions. So,
do you remember a gentleman named Officer Fell?
Oh yeah, I know Officer Fell very well. I see him all the time.
Well,
go ahead.
I haven't seen him here in a while, but normally I see him all the time. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks.
I see him like every week at my house when he picks up my son to take him.
Oh, for the driving school.
Last session is this Friday.
Yeah,
he's picking him up this Friday. Last one, driving test. License. He's great.
Yeah, his brother is a twin,
Yeah, and he tells us the jokes.
Yeah,
in Tucson. So
Officer Fell obviously became one of the most popular officers, part of that program.
You bet.
So what was that like to kind of see that?
I think it's great. I think we want our officers to have that interaction with not only the parents and the community, but also the kids. And they want to be able to do their job, but also have that bond with the kids where the kids can feel safe to come to them if they have issues, or they can be the reference or the resource for any other information they might need out there. And that's what the school resources are there.
So that's what it was for. And then you saw somebody that it was out, because definitely I think people felt comfortable with Officer Fell.
Yeah.
You bet.
Right. They felt like they would be able to do that. And I don't know if he has incidents where that happened, but he definitely felt like comfortable enough with all the people. They'd go up, say hi. It was like a whole, like, hey, Officer Fell, which is like where I grew up, different from how you interact with cops. Right. But he would kind of broke that wall, you know.
There was a couple others that did really good besides him, but yeah, he did a really
good job.
Can you
name some of the other ones? Because I remember Officer Carr. I really liked
Officer
him
James
as well.
Carr, he's retired now. Officer Tom Saviejo, he retired from the high schools. There's a bunch of them. Officer trying to think of some of the other ones. Officer Cooley, who was at Cibola. Officer Resendez was at Kofa. And there were some others that switched places with him later on. Officer Worthen was at Cibola for a while. So it just went on. And we'd try to recruit somebody that would work well with the kids. And
gotcha. So somebody that had like the personality maybe, or
you think about it when you're a police officer, you go, man, the last thing I want to do is work in the schools, this and that. So a lot of times when we had like an officer needed to be off for like maybe a medical reason for a couple of weeks, we'd bring somebody in, and I try to recruit somebody from a squad I thought would fit in with the
fit well,
schools, bring them in for a little bit, and they get used to it, and they go, oh, it's not so bad,
Yeah.
you know? And then when we had an opening, we could get them into that position. They'd be more willing to apply for that job.
Yeah.
Because you apply for everything we move into, you got to apply for, and there's a process. You got to be interviewed, and you got to go through a process, whether it's instructing or some type of scenario type situation. They'll get picked for that position.
Okay, and so then you did that, and then when did you retire?
I retired from the Yuma Police Department in 2007. I went to work for the U.S. Customs. I was assigned to the San Luis Port of Entry. I did that for about a year. I was in the academy for about 6 months, went through that, and then went through Spanish, and then worked that for about another 7 months. And then I had the opportunity to be the police chief for the Quechan Indian tribe.
Oh, okay.
So I left U.S. Customs and went back into really police work. That U.S. Customs more immigration and customs enforcement, working the port of entry.
Wow,
so
what kind of crazy stuff did you confiscate? Tell me.
I had one of them. Well, we've had some of my biggest drug arrests. I worked there obviously because you get a diesel truck half full of marijuana or something, but
You're like, bingo.
yeah, I learned something there that I probably let a lot of loads go when I was a police officer, not realizing something.
Oh my God,
that you look for.
seriously.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at it
That's
as
right.
that job, you've learned some things. You go, man, those things I probably saw out there and I just probably never keyed in on.
And they're like, woo, you didn't find it.
And then I did that for a while, but you work a lot of hours. There's a lot of money. You make good money if somebody's looking for a good career.
Yeah.
But I got the opportunity to be the police chief at the Quechan Indian tribe. Did that for about 4.5 years.
Wow.
And then left there. And I actually went back to work at Kofa High School in their security department. Did that for about 6 months. And then I got this job. I happened to run across the emergency manager. She was retiring. And I had worked a lot of emergency management planning and stuff when I worked for the tribe. And so she knew I was interested in that. So she told me she was retiring. I applied for this job and
Look at you now.
been here almost coming up on my 14th year.
Whoa.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, so we're going to take a quick break and we're going to go into emergency management and what you do and how we can be prepared here in Yuma.
Sure.
All right. We're going to do that after a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Ever wanted to be on the radio? Still talking into your hairbrush in the mirror? Border Radio needs you as a volunteer host. Share music, stories, and local conversations that matter. No experience necessary. We'll provide the training. Email info@borderradioaz.org or call 877-838-5292 for more information.
You're tuned to 94.7 FM. I'm Juan Garcia from the KWC Newsroom. The weather forecast for Yuma today is sunny with a high near 73. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 50. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, there are at least 1,500 children awaiting adoption in Arizona. For more details, visit our website at kawc.org/news. Stay tuned for more What's Up Yuma with Johnny and Ronnie on 94.7 FM KOFA Border Radio.
Blood services provider Vitalant is hosting blood drives at Yuma locations on an ongoing basis. Daily personal emergencies and ongoing medical needs of thousands of patients require a constant and ready blood supply. Donations of all blood types, especially O, are needed. Locations, dates, and appointments at donors.vitalant.org.
From KAWC, this is Siendo Primero.
Being First is a program created by students for students.
My name is Ajay Bárcenas.
And my name is Evelyn Garcia. Here we will share stories, information, and voices that connect with students' life.
Cada sábado les traeremos un nuevo tema directamente a tus oídos.
This show is available as a podcast or online. Just search kawc.org under the shows tab. A new vision with the same mission: to give students a voice.
Downtown Yuma celebrates the season on Saturday, December 6th with holiday festivities along Main Street. Families can enjoy the synthetic ice skating rink, a 6:15 tree lighting near the Yuma Art Center, and Santa photos at the Children's Museum. Performances, vendors, and kids' activities fill the day with cheer. Details on the Yuma Art Center's Facebook page.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here talking to Tony Badilla, who is in charge of emergency management here at the Yuma County. And so we're going to dive into what that means to be the director and coordinator of that. Now, Ronnie thought that you got us ready for war, like in case Tucson ever wanted to go to war against Yuma.
There's a Mexico uprising.
Yeah. So what is it that your job kind of entails, and why did you think you would be a great fit? Or the person that you said, that somebody said, oh, you already know that you're working with the Kachan, you have this ability. And why was that a perfect fit for you?
Well, I think because of my background, obviously in law enforcement, knowing the community, also working at the tribe, like I said, working on emergency plans, doing a lot of incident command training. I had all that with me. I also graduated from AWC with a public safety degree, and I was working through NAU on an emergency management degree. That may be the best fit, I think. And I was able to acquire this position and moved in there.
So what was that like? You're getting in there, like, and what emergencies do we plan for?
Well, when I got in that job, I was thinking we were going to do some of the basic stuff. I mean, obviously over the years, we've had obviously natural hazards like rainstorms, tornadoes, not tornadoes, but hurricane winds, tropical storms, obviously all that is normal for natural stuff. We expected some earthquakes. We had the one in Easter, those type of things. But what we didn't think about is this thing called COVID coming through. COVID was something that we actually had just done a training on, mass illness like that. And lo and behold, a month later, we're dealing with COVID. So that was pretty overwhelming for us. I mean, obviously, we still had to come to work. We still had to do the things. We were doing testing. We were doing coordinating with public health to do later on vaccinations, passing out masks, passing out PPE to all the not only government agencies, but also some of the medical fields, because that became a hard staple to acquire. Everything became very, very scarce. I mean, you're buying a bottle of a gallon of hand sanitizer, which probably can buy for probably $10, $15. It was going for a couple $100.
That's crazy.
So things are very scarce. We're coordinating not only with local resources, but also with the state and the federal resources to get those things in and to coordinate some of those responses with that.
So when was that in your career? Like how far? COVID started around 2020, I think.
Yeah. So I started this job in 2013. So 7 years into it.
Okay, 7 years.
Yeah,
okay.
But prior to that, I mean, obviously we had the first run of immigration crisis where we had mass immigration.
Okay.
So
tell us about that.
What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we were dealing with a large number of people coming across the border, and then we were coordinating with the local resources to move those people on, because they were allowing them in to stay in the country. Border Patrol was only allowed to keep them a certain period of time, so that the other option would be releasing them to the streets. And, obviously Yuma community, especially the city of Yuma, where they were going to release them, was, a community of 100,000 people. And then you're releasing, anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 people a day. That's just not going to work in our community. Where are they going to go? We don't have the resources for them. So we were really fortunate to coordinate with Regional Center for Border Health, took the lead on that, and they were able to coordinate with the federal government for financial resources and move those people along. They did a fantastic job then, and they did it later on up to a couple of years ago. I mean, and during COVID, during the same time, we were dealing with that as well.
Yeah, and that's definitely something geographical, right? Because other cities don't have to deal with that, but that's an emergency when it comes to our city. People being the influx of people, what do we do with them? Obviously, they can be a strain to certain resources and stuff, and so you had your hand in that and try to coordinate. But you said the Regional Center for Border Health, they kind of
They took the lead on that. They provided the transportation, the medical checkups. If they had required to stay overnight, then they provided some temporary lodging for them. And they were able to get them. They were actually like a travel agent. They were able to get them their tickets to where their final destination was, wherever they were going in the country. But we also had to work with all the state, local, and federal resources to deal with that too. We were having multiple meetings each day, dealing with that, ensuring that we were keeping track of how many people were coming in, where we were going to provide those resources, and how we were going to coordinate with local border patrol, how they were going to dispose of those people, when they were ready to release them.
So what kind of training did you have for all of this?
Well, we as emergency manager, that's one of the roles we do. We do training, it's incident command training, ICS training they refer to. We coordinate not only with the first responders, police, fire, public works. We provide, they call it ICS 100, which is introduction to ICS. And then there's the advanced incident command system. And then there's different classes. Some are online through FEMA's website, and then some are in person. We provide through grants, resources, and training for those people to come to get those certifications. And there's different levels you can become. You can get your basic emergency management certification. There's some other certifications you can get. So we coordinate with those. We just got through doing a public information officer course. We had people come to that course, so when they get a camera or a mic stuck in their face, they're able to prepare for that and be able to talk.
You're talking like who would take this course?
Any of our public information officers. For example, the last class had somebody from ADOT. Arizona Department of Transportation. We had a lot of law enforcement officers. Most of those were supervisors. We had some firefighters. The new PIO from the Yuma fire was there.
Yeah, you got to know how to talk to the media.
So
you can't just
say
some
basic training, how to prepare, and how to deal with that.
Interesting.
So we're getting ready to do. We also. Our department also oversees the the Emergency Operations Center for Yuma County. The city has their own, but we also have ours. So we train our people into operation, how to operate, logistics, how to get stuff, planning, how to plan for the next 12 hours, and then finance, how to pay for this stuff, or where to get the funding to be able to pay for this stuff.
That's right.
Each community has to be prepared for that. And then we also do community training. I mean, we provide through ready.gov. We tell people how to have a ready kit, how to have an family emergency plan. Because you think about it, if you're at home, that's fine when your kids get out of school. But if something goes down in your neighborhood and your kids are used to walking home from school and they evacuated you from your neighborhood and now you're 2 miles away from your school, where are your kids going to go? Do they know where they're going to go when they can't get in their neighborhood? Do they go to somebody down the street? Do they call their aunt? And the same thing with schools. If something happens at the schools, as a parent, you may be the only one who can pick your kids up. You don't have somebody else assigned. And that's what we really preached. Even when I was in the law enforcement, we preached to the parents, make sure you have 3 or 4 people that can pick your kids up. Because if you're, and in a community, if you're an agriculture worker and you're out working in Welton and your kid goes to Crane School and they call you and say, hey, you need to come pick your kid up. We've had an emergency. You want somebody to come pick your kid up now. So you may have a neighbor, a family member, a friend that be able to be on that list to go walk up, because the school's not going to reach anybody.
You have to have your
it's got to be Johnny that's on the list, or Ronnie that's on the list to be able to pick them up.
Wow, you're thinking like 80 steps ahead. I love it.
Yeah.
It's definitely not how I think.
What are some of the things that you would have in a ready kit?
Anything from, we tell them 72 hours, that's the basic stuff, but we tell them to go further than that. You want to have a gallon of water per person. So sometimes you want to have your kids have their own ready kits too, because unless you want to carry all that stuff, you want to have a gallon of water. You want to have food for 72 hours. And it can be the stuff you buy at Walmart. They got camping supplies. You can make those MRE type things they make there, or you can just have canned food. You can go to the dollar store and buy chicken noodle soup and things like that. Have that in there. We want you to have some wipes.
Oh, okay.
Because that could be your bathing tool, or it could be your bathroom toilet paper, toothbrush, toothpaste, combs. We want you to have all those things, some change of clothes, things that you can grab, and it'd be an old backpack that you just keep in the corner of your room. You just grab that when you leave, because when an emergency happens, you're not going to be able to have time to gather all that.
Yeah.
And we tell you to have that at work. We tell you to have maybe a bag in your car. Be prepared for that. Raincoats, things like that. A tarp, that could be your shelter.
How many people do you think actually have these things?
Depending, I think it's probably, I'm going to guess probably around 5 to 10% of the community. Probably, I would say that. I know a family that used to live across from me. All their kids had ready kits. I was very proud of them. It had nothing to do with me. They just had
they just had them on.
Just ready to go.
Okay.
And they were prepared.
You'd go over there and you're like, I like those guys right there. Look at them.
They're ready to go.
If it ever goes down, I'm going to that house.
And we keep our bags. I even have one at home, and we keep one in the car, and it works out for us. We went up to Universal Studios one time, and it was raining. And I go, rain ponchos are in the bag. Things like that.
That's smart. I need to do that.
I'm not prepared.
Yeah, but I don't even have an umbrella, right?
I have one in my
period.
truck.
Yeah, I know you have one.
We tell people to have hats, have dust masks, have goggles,
multiple passports. No, I'm just
copies.
You're right. Copies of all your documents.
Yeah, you got to have that. If you got to travel.
I don't even have a passport.
And you think about it, everything you have is in your phone.
It's true.
If you wanted to call your friends and family, you might want to have all that written down somewhere because
what
your
if the
phones,
cellular towers get knocked out?
or your phones are no good anymore.
Yeah, and now that happens.
You could have a solar flare.
I
come
watched
through.
Terminator the other day. It's going to happen.
Solar flares can come knock everything out.
Yeah, no, it definitely could happen. And I think my phone went out for a little bit and I panicked. And
Oh my God.
Yeah, like what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah, we live through our phones.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so when people want these resources, do they contact you about it, or
they can go to ready.gov?
Ready.gov, and that's
that.
like a federal thing.
That's a FEMA program, and
FEMA.
it's got all kinds of things.
Can you
It's got
guys
coloring
send me
books
a ready
written in
kit?
They'll tell you how to do a ready kit.
Yeah, Ronnie doesn't want to do the work.
Just
the ready
send it to me.
You
ready kit.
you just buy one.
Yeah, we tell people to buy one thing a week for like 5
You
weeks.
guys are smart.
So that then they they'll get all the stuff they
That's
need.
right.
And then you want to camp out about once every 2 years or so and live out of your ready kit, so you
Kinda
replace the
know
food
what
with
to
the
do.
water, you get new stuff.
replenish.
Yeah, you want to get rid of that stuff after a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they used to teach stuff like that at school. I took a wilderness survival class with Mr. Roach. I don't know if
Mr.
you're
Roach,
Mr. Roach.
I love
and
those things.
Yeah, and
my
that was
driver's ed teacher.
Yeah, he did driver's ed and he did wilderness survival, which was cool. I learned how to cook eggs on a tin can and
Right.
Like make a fire.
and make a fire. Yeah, he taught us how to do all that, and obviously that's something that you definitely have to be prepared for if you had to be out in the county, the city, somewhere else,
That's right.
not your home, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So, and then real quick before we go, you said FEMA. Do you also partner with them on stuff?
Yeah,
or-
we do some FEMA training. Not only a lot of the classes we bring down are FEMA. They're all FEMA classes. The IAS classes, independent study, the in-class stuff is all FEMA classes. We get our grants to help pay for some of that stuff, but we coordinate with the state to get those instructors and have those courses here locally. We try to bring them in locally. I can send people out to those classes. They are offered through the Arizona Department of Emergency Management, Military Affairs. There's a list of classes, but then you got to pay for the hotel, you got to pay their food, things like that. And by the time you send 1 or 2 people away, I can have 20 or 30 people trained for the same price. So we try to bring our training here locally and hold it locally.
Yeah.
For most of our attendees are first responders, volunteers, and then some community people come, and there's no charge to it. We do it free.
Oh, okay. And I remember I talked to you off air about it. My buddy Kevin Tennille, when COVID happened, he was talking about doing stuff, and he actually taught FEMA classes and stuff. So he was had a very intimate knowledge about these things.
He not only taught locally, but he also taught at the state level and also at the National Emergency Management Academy. They've changed their name. I don't know what it's called now. They just recently changed the name, but you can go to the actual academy, and that actually is. Everything's paid for except for your meals. You can go to that too, but you have to be approved to go.
Last thing, if an emergency happens, what's your address so I can come to your house?
Well, we're getting ready to move. We're moving out to Public Works. We're getting a new facility.
Give her the old address and just take off. And then
Just have that house prepped. I'll
We're
stay
getting
there.
about 700 square feet. We're going into 1,800 square feet. So we're getting a new facility, and we're going to be out at Public Works. We're excited about that. We'll be moving in the next couple
Good
weeks.
for you guys.
Yeah, it'll be nice for us.
Well, thanks for keeping us safe.
Yeah. Well, we just want everybody to think about it, prepare for themselves. Because if we get everybody to take care of themselves, then the first responders don't have to help.
Yeah,
them as well. So
yeah,
if
it
you can
takes
take
off
care
that
of
load.
yourself and then your neighbors, then the first
just
responders can't come
expands,
because
yeah.
when they get busy,
Yeah.
they're going to be dealing with the high priority stuff.
And I guess that's another thing you don't think about,
Yeah.
right? Is that they'll be busy. Right.
Yeah.
Because right now,
can't
just
save
thinking
me.
like
Yeah.
you're thinking like, oh, I'll just call 911. Like they'll be here
No.
shortly, stuff like that. But when resources are scarce, if there is an emergency, and
Very true.
COVID did kind of give us a taste of the things are different, right? It kind of gave it like, wait a minute, like the stuff that I'm normally used to and a way to operate, it's not the same anymore. So if we could think back to that, and it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do in the future if something else like that happens? Like you said, a solar flare or whatever.
Anything.
Yeah, anything.
Exactly.
We would have to be prepared for it.
Put all your stuff in the microwave.
In the microwave.
It'll protect everything.
Oh, wow.
It may not
That's-
work after you take it out because everything else may be messed up. But
Ah,
the
You're
microwave
like a
is-
low-key doomsday prepper
Yeah.
right now. I
Microwave
know
will
it.
protect your stuff.
do you have a big like a pantry full of
Down in your basement?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
I have enough food
Canned
for
peaches?
72
72 hours.
And then
Oh,
my
okay.
wife's got her own pantry. We can probably
She's
live on
got her
that
own
for about a
thing.
week. It's all canned
So
food,
you got
so
his and hers.
His and
Huh?
hers.
That's
Oatmeal.
smart.
We got enough oatmeal to last us 2
Ooh,
months.
oatmeal. Yummy.
that.
I love
Yeah.
oatmeal. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Tony. I appreciate it.
pleasure.
And
So much
everything
info.
that you do for the county, keeping us prepared. One more time, ready.gov.
Ready.gov.
All right.
Thanks, Tony.
And with that, we are going to take a break. We'll be back with Jackie Ruiz talking about the Junior Volunteer Nursing Program and what they got going on this winter. We'll do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering retirement planning, investment consulting, and money management aligned with the goals of each client. Appointments and information are at yivwm.com. Investment advisory services offered through CWM LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
This is folk singer Michael Jonathan. We've got Canadian master guitarist and songwriter Matt Anderson on this week's broadcast. And from Asheville, North Carolina, the operatic voice and banjo of Elizabeth McCorvey. Plus, an amazing Wood Songs kid on this week's broadcast of the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
This evening at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM.
The Somerton Tamale Festival, featuring tons of tamales, thousands of attendees, and 2 stages of live entertainment, will fill Somerton's Main Street all day long, beginning at 11 in the morning on Saturday, December 20th. Proceeds go to the El Diablito Alumni Club scholarships for local students. Festival information is at somertontamalefestival.com.
For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon. A case involving a San Luis church that runs a food distribution ministry that was questioned by city officials has been settled. On Monday, legal representatives of Gethsemane Baptist Church announced a settlement with city officials. The church held its food ministry for several years without issue and even partnered with the city for some food distribution events. But last year, the church's pastor said city code enforcement officers issued him citations for food trucks blocking the roadways in the surrounding residential neighborhood. In a release statement, Pastor Jose Castro said, quote, "I am thankful to God that I can continue serving my community. We hope to continue being a blessing to San Luis for many years," end quote. Gethsemane Baptist Church was represented by the First Liberty Institute and the law firm Snell and Wilmer LLP. For KAWC News, I'm Victor Calderon.
KAWC invites you to Spirited Discussions at 5 p.m. Tuesday, December 9th at River City Grill. Join News Director Lou Gum in his final KAWC event as he moderates a conversation on local news with Cisco Stargazer and Alexandra Rangel, plus Alex Wakefield from the Arizona Media Association. More at KAWC.org.
Beans and cornbread.
It's Thanksgiving, so take a seat at the dinner table with Afterglow as we explore classic jazz and popular songs about food by singers like Louis Armstrong, Louis Jordan, Fats Waller, and more. I'm Mark Chilla, and join me for Feasting with the Great American Songbook, a Thanksgiving special from Afterglow.
Thanksgiving Thursday at noon on KOFA 94.7 FM and the KOFA app.
I'm Chris Wheeler, owner of Prison Hill Brewing Company. I support KAWC because I think KAWC brings a service to the community that you don't get on commercial radio. You have news, you have entertainment, you have things like Science Friday. It's a perspective that is not available on a commercial platform, and it's oriented towards the community, for the community, and from within the community. Prison Hill underwrites KAWC and community radio because of what it brings to Yuma. It is the local perspective told by residents and from the view of people in the community. I don't think you get that anywhere else. Supporting KAWC really does bring a service that is not available elsewhere. It's a worthy endeavor, and I think that will just feed back and make Yuma a better place. I'm Chris Wheeler, and I support KAWC.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by Jackie Ruiz from the Yuma Nursing Jr Volunteers. And you're actually at Yuma Nursing Center, right? Is that the one you actually work for?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just, and we've had you on before, and you've also brought a guest with you today. Would you like to introduce your guest?
Yes, this is Janelle. She's our marketer for Yuma Nursing Center.
Oh, okay.
cool.
All right. So how long have you guys worked together? And let's get your mic a little bit closer.
There we go. For about 6 months now.
Yeah, probably about 6 to 8. 6
Yeah.
to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. Okay, cool. And so we like to get to know our guests. And so now you're in the hot seat. So how long have you?
Marketer, man.
Yeah,
This should
you-
be a breeze.
Yeah, it should be easy, right? Yeah, you got
I
this.
know.
So how long you've been to Yuma?
Yuma. In
Yeah.
Yuma. I'm actually born and raised here.
Okay, what's up? That's what's good.
Right?
Yeah, what? Purebred.
Right.
So we
I
call them.
did live in Denver for about 7 years.
Okay, we
So
won't
I
hold
ju-
that against you.
I know it. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
I moved here about a year and a half ago. So I've been
Oh.
with Yuma Nursing for about
What were you
9
doing
months.
in Denver?
I was actually a nanny for about 6 years with the same family, and then I kind of
So you live
took
with
care of-
them?
No,
You're like,
didn't live
"Oh,
with them.
okay."
No, but was with them every single day, especially during
Wow.
COVID. So they are basically family now.
Yeah.
Was that a nursing thing or
No,
No,
It
you were
was a
you were just a
completely different
nanny.
field. Yeah, completely different.
Oh
How
wow.
old were were you like you were watching kids, obviously.
Mhm.
How old were they?
So when I started, the baby was 9 months old, middle 4, and the oldest 6.
Wow. So you stayed with them all through that time.
Yeah, it was
And
great.
So what
Amazing.
happened? You just were like, I want to move.
Well, all my family lives here. So, it's a 16-hour drive. You have to switch planes, to fly into Yuma.
Oh, yeah.
That became kind of tedious having to do that for the holidays. And
Yeah.
I wanted to get over here as much as I can, but it just became a lot. And I just felt like the right time to come back.
Did you get tired of the snow?
No, I loved it.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, I
I'm ready
love
to go try it.
You should. You should. I mean, you're a mile closer to the sun up there in Denver. So
But it's
even
harder
on
to breathe.
even 60 degrees, 50, even if the sun is out and there's
feels
snow out, it
good.
just feels really good.
Ah, I see. Yeah, my sisters live in Colorado.
They do?
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe someday.
You should.
We'll see.
You really should.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
How it goes.
But you're back.
Yes, I'm
Now
back.
you're back to the heat.
I am. It's been tough adjusting for sure. I always tell people I don't think you ever adjust to the heat here. You just don't. But you just learn to deal with it.
Yeah,
So,
you kind of adapt. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
still the summer. You just don't go outside.
Yeah, no, it's terrible because I love being outdoors. So yeah.
Yeah.
So marketing, was that something you've always wanted to do? Is that something you have some experience in or?
So I actually went to school 1 year in college for marketing. I unfortunately didn't pursue it, but I would say I'm a people person and very outgoing.
So
it
you
is
did for a
something-
year though?
Yes.
Where at?
At Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon? You went there for a year. What'd you learn?
I actually went there for 2 years. I started.
Oh, you went 2
nursing
years.
and did marketing. Yeah.
Okay. What'd you learn in the marketing classes?
Well, you learn just how to, target an audience, how to talk to people, and how to get your message across, what you're trying to market. I mean,
Yeah.
ultimately you are marketing for yourself as an
Mhm.
individual, but then everything else kind of follows.
This is a pop quiz. You didn't know you were going to get a pop quiz
No,
on
I
this,
didn't,
right?
but
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't know she was
we
gonna
could do
get a hot
anything
That was
on
a
this
good
show.
answer. You get an A. You
Yeah,
passed.
that was pretty good. I'll give it a B, but
Well,
it's
she
a-
didn't complete it.
Yeah.
So she didn't finish the school.
No.
Yeah,
So then you come in, you come back to Yuma. You said family and stuff, and then how'd you end up with this position?
The position just opened up, and luckily the opportunity was there. I went for it and thankfully got it.
So but I'm saying what would prompt you to even apply? Because you took that 1 year. You're like, that 1 year, I got this. Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah. No, it's just, again, something that's always interested me. I love engaging with people, connecting with people, and I just felt that it was a good fit. And
Did
even
you say
though-
you went to school for the marketing and nursing?
Yeah.
So this is like perfect.
Yeah,
Because this
exactly.
is a nursing facility, and then
Exactly.
you're like, and I get to market. So it's kind of like a double win for you.
Yes. And I feel like I've done, it's
Are you
aligned
liking
with
it?
me very perfectly. Yes.
And you're liking it a lot?
I do. Yeah.
Awesome.
I do. I love being able to help families out and get them what they need, resources, even if that's not us, point them in the
Exactly.
right direction, and
Yeah.
ultimately make those connections with people, because that's the most important.
And what's it like working with Nurse Jackie?
I love it. She's just all around amazing at what
Yeah.
she does, and
I saw her
you know,
dance
getting-
in a dinosaur costume.
Oh,
at the,
awesome. That was-
Halloween chamber,
yes.
chamber event. I put it on my video.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
It was.
I'm the best
The people
animated
loved it.
I didn't know it was in there. And she's like, it's me.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I didn't know either.
me who?
Me, it's like, get away from me. Leave
Yeah,
me alone.
scary.
Yeah, what's going on?
And she's like, it's Jackie. It was
great. Just put me in the costume and that's it. I'm a whole different
You'll go to any
character.
lakes for that.
Was that your idea as a marketing person to put her in a dinosaur costume?
Well, actually, I had from years ago kind of like a safari, a Jurassic Park themed outfit. And so we had heard one of our coworkers had this dinosaur costume. And we're like, let's be Jurassic Park.
And I was like, I would totally wear it.
Yeah.
She's got the energy for it. So it was just amazing. Yeah.
So it all worked out.
It did.
It's perfect.
Oh, very cool.
We played the Jurassic Park theme song the entire time at our it was awesome.
Oh, very, very,
The
very
dinosaur
cool.
did not survive though after that.
You
night.
said it
I
ripped.
went
What do you
for
mean? It
Halloween.
ripped?
She danced so hard.
I did. I really did. I danced too hard, and I guess there was.
You're
a
like,
hole.
she texted me. She's like, I went to my next event and it's not blowing up anymore.
Oh, no. Living La Vida Loca in your dinosaur costume. Okay, so
Alrighty.
I just want to find out. So marketing a nursing home.
Yeah.
So that's unique. So what's the best way to market a nursing home? Like to say we have better resources, we got better nurses. Like what's that look like?
Well, I would say the most important thing, because a lot of people don't really think about it or take it into account, but our culture there at
Culture, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
our team, I would say all of the elements that would make a nursing facility superior. We have that, even though the building is a little bit older. I just really focus on what our team does there.
Anyway, you said
nurses,
culture.
CNAs.
What do you mean? What's your culture there?
So really everybody sharing the same goal and focused on, the community, our patients, the people that we serve.
Yeah.
Some
Patient
people
care.
can just show up and it's just a job. It's just, I'm a nurse, but we really strive to make sure everybody's on the same page and we're working towards the same goal. And
the residents are comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, and you said so. Culture obviously also has to do with morale, right? 'Cause So like the morale has to be high because, putting somebody, and I know you know this, people, you're going to put your parents into a nursing home,
right?
That's a big decision, right? Again, there's horror stories out there, right? And then I think they're probably few and far between. Just the nature of media, we kind of sticks out in our head, but.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you put your parents in a place or grandparents in a place that they're going to be taken care of.
Right.
So how do you communicate that? You say with your culture, or is like social media helping you doing that?
Definitely, because I like it. I love the energy and excitement of knowing that that's the culture that we have. So the best that I can do is communicate that. I can speak on stories, positive stories that other families have had there. And I like to kind of incorporate that with a lot of the marketing that I do, whether it's social media or word of mouth or meeting with, our people that are in need, the community that's in need. Yeah.
So do you work with the teens too?
I do. So all the events that I do that involve, or that we come up with that involve our residents, the community, et cetera, we collaborate on finding the, perfect role for our junior volunteers.
So
that
you're
wanna get
involved in the planning.
Yes.
Is she like your right-hand woman?
Yeah. So I'll come to Janelle and be like, what should we do?
And same with her. We do that.
I'm out of ideas.
We brainstorm together, especially the Halloween event that we had.
Yeah.
It was a great hit. It was one of the biggest ones that we've had at the facility. And we had a lot of our volunteers from the high school come in and volunteer and help out.
Okay.
And they were all at a station. So that was really nice. And then we also just did the Alzheimer's event. And that one was a huge hit. I had a volunteer. I had 6 of them show up and they were all at a station.
Wow.
So that was a really, really big event that we had with them. And they loved it. They got a shirt. They participated. They got to learn what Alzheimer's is. And they just really, really love the experience.
Awesome.
So yeah, so we come up with something. So hopefully the next one that we have moving forward for the spring, since this class is about to end, I have the winter kids coming up. Hopefully we sign up for the Relay of Life because we sponsored a booth with the Yuma Nursing at the Alzheimer's event.
Okay.
So if we're able to sponsor one for the Relay for Life that's a cancer event, then those kids will experience that.
Okay.
So it'll be really nice to have that.
Hopefully.
So we're going to take a quick break, and Ronnie told me you have an event coming up that we're going to talk about.
Multiple.
Yes.
Or multiple
Well,
events.
she's got
Okay.
this, and then there's like your winter thing going on with the teens.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to come back and we're going to find out what that's all about after a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is funded by the Local News Initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona, the Scripps Howard Fund, and by generous local support. Thank you for supporting the next generation of public media. Learn more about the project and hear stories from emerging journalists at kawc.org/student newsroom.
K-pop fans, it's fall, y'all. How about listening to some fall K-pop with your pumpkin lattes? Join me for the Fall Vibes show on K-pop for Border with artists like Highs, Illit, Taeyeon, and Crush. K-pop for Border airs on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on Kofa Radio. Stream the show on KAWC's app or website, or follow K-pop for Border Facebook or Instagram.
The Yuma County Library District provides activities and resources at its branches for people of all ages. Events include story time, citizenship classes, bilingual programs, crafts, author talks, and more. For more information about the activities and calendar of events, plus other in-person and online resources, visit yumalibrary.org.
Down in Yuma, it's sunny with a high near 74 degrees. Clear skies tonight with a low around 51 in Kingman. It's sunny with a high near 65 degrees. Winds about 10 miles per hour out of the northeast. Clear skies tonight with a low of 42 in Prescott. It's sunny with a high near 62 degrees. Clear skies tonight with a low of 32 and in Flagstaff. Also sunny with a high near 53 degrees. Calm winds becoming 5 miles per hour out of the east. Clear tonight with a low of 21.
The Yuma Crossing National Heritage Area's Christmas at the Crossing will be alive with holiday lights at the Colorado River State Historic Park on December 19th and 20th. The event will feature food, live entertainment, light shows every hour, and express train rides. More information and tickets are available at yumaheritage.com.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here talking to, and we said Nurse Jackie, but I think we found out you're not a nurse, right?
I was on her same boat. I went to nursing school, but
Yeah.
So like fake Nurse Jackie. We'll
Fake,
call you.
yeah.
That's your new name, like the show. You don't want to be like her.
No, not like
Nurse
her.
Jackie's here.
Yeah, there was controversy about that last episode, but So off air, Ronnie was talking to you about. She brought up something on the last show when you were here. You were talking about working with high schools for this junior volunteer program, but you hadn't done that yet. You were kind of in the process for getting the feelers out. How's that going?
So we actually got involved with the district. So
For the district? Okay.
District. So
like
now,
the Yuma Union High School.
Yep.
Okay.
So we went ahead. They emailed me. We had several meetings just to make sure that everything was aligned and proper for them to come in and join. And we are now involved with all the high schools. So Bola, Somerton, San Luis, Gila Ridge. What's the other one? I'm at Yuma High School.
Okay.
And yeah, so it grew. So we had over 250 students register, and I had to go through a whole interview process.
Whoa. With each of them?
Each of them.
So what exactly, what are they doing?
So right now we're in weekends only because they are in school.
Yes.
So right now they can either participate in activity department or they can participate in the kitchen, or if there's some maintenance on the weekends, then they can do the maintenance work on the weekends.
So partnering with the high school, but what does that mean? Is this a credit for them now?
Yeah.
Like
so they're involved. So they have to be part of the CTE course.
Got it.
In order to even apply, they had to be involved within the CTE course. So they'll be able to get some type of credit once they finish the high school.
That's amazing. That's really, really cool.
And now we're working with them, their MedTech group.
Okay.
So that's also another CTE course that they have. So once we have everything finalized, then we'll be able to provide the shadowing aspect in our facility for them. So we're trying to make it now a teaching facility for them. So if they have their CNAs or anything in that category, nursing wise, we'll be able to shadow them.
Because it's almost kind of like no excuse now to not graduate and already be ready to go in your field. Like if you're trying to do something.
And it's great because some of them, like once they graduate, they already have their CNA license. So it's like if we're hiring and they're looking for employment, it's like, hey, you like it here? All right, well, join
You're
our
hired.
Yeah, if you've worked with them, you've already developed that relationship, so you can bring them on. So that's a perfect way to recruit people to work in your facility. And like she said earlier, keep that culture. right? Because they're already familiar with
Yep.
it. And so that's big. So you're able to do that. So were the high schools and the district, they're pretty receptive to everything when you...
They were really excited. They were like, hey, there's really nothing like this out here. We're actually looking for places to go. And they're like, tell me what you're all about. So I kind of told them the same story. I told them, I was like, I started this as a pilot, didn't know where I was going with it, and kind of just grew from there. Yeah. And then luckily, I didn't know that there was charter schools out here. So Student Choice Charter reached out to me and wanted to get involved as well. So we created an event, and they're going to come in and see the facility and kind of also do a credit base for their students.
Wow, cool.
So if they participate within, I believe it's like a 24-hour per credit. So if they come in, volunteer for an event or anything like that, or on the weekends, they can also get a credit for their school.
Do you know of any other high school charter schools? So I honestly didn't even know.
Well, there's a number of them.
Do you know names?
Yeah.
I don't know any names.
Oh,
I don't.
Wait, no, there is a number of different ones. Yeah,
This
they're
one's Student Choice.
There's so many different ways. Yeah, Student Choice actually reached out to me. They wanted me to speak to some of their kids, but that's when my house got flooded, so I had to. But I got to reach back out. Whoever reached out was absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
it was Fran. I got to get back with her.
And I met with her a couple of times. I just presented at the school a week ago. I did 2 presentations out there, and let me tell you, they're so nice, and they believe in the kids and what their mission is for them. I love that. Their energy out there is just amazing, especially for what they're doing for them.
So if you can, try to make that connection with me and her again.
Definitely.
I forget where I was reaching out to her about it, but I definitely should go take advantage of that. But yeah, there's a bunch of little like micro schools and different things available now for kids to have choices. So, and this is one of them.
Yeah, and it's great because, again, it's using for their credit. So if they can somehow manipulate that to where it's counting as a credit, that's great.
Awesome. So what's it been like working with the kids from the schools?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm such a teen mom.
Okay.
I enjoy talking to them, especially when we're doing the events because we're outside of the facility. So you kind of get to know them a little more.
I see your pictures on Instagram. They're
awesome.
So cute.
I love it.
It's such a great thing to try to reach the youth.
It is.
Before they leave and like all the things of the world happen to them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a different one than getting to know them, what they like, what they don't like. And all of them are so different and they all come from different backgrounds.
Yes.
So you start to know like each one of them and then you kind of get to see them grow. Like I have them send me monthly reports. What did you learn this month? Tell me, give me feedback. And then and I see them growing and it's like exciting. Everyone's like, oh, I was shy when I started.
My baby birds.
Yeah. They're flying.
They're flying now. So do you have anything else going on? I know you had some stuff written down.
Yes. So I do have the winter program coming on. So right now it's the fall. So those kids are going to end their session on the 14th. However, we're going to open for the winter break for all schools. So if there's any other schools I didn't touch base on, or if I don't know about, just for the break, they can come in and get their community service hours or any hours that they need. Especially I know Yuma Catholic kids also take advantage of that because we took advantage of it during the summer.
Yeah.
So they can come in and do that. So I'm opening the registry on December 1st, and it's going to go on from 12/20 to 1/7. So it's going to be about 3 weeks that they can volunteer, and that will be the full experience because it'll be Monday through Friday.
Wow.
So they'll get the whole live action of the clerical work, the kitchen, social services.
And like you said, isn't there like an app or something where they like
they'll
log
clock
in?
Yep. They'll
see
get
where
their
you're
hours through
scheduled
that.
for the day. Can they request maybe something?
They can't request it, but again, they can just send me a message and just be like, hey, because I have them all in a group chat and then they can talk to me individually. I mean, we will go through the interview process again.
Sure.
However, it'll be a little easier because it's break time.
Yeah.
So I'm a lot more lenient because I have a lot more flexibility in the schedule where I can put everyone in.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm sure some teens favor certain areas.
Absolutely.
I know I would. Yeah.
Some of them just want to see an activity.
I want to do bingo.
Right. That's usually
All
what
the fun
it is.
stuff.
And actually for the event that we're going to have for Student Choice, that's going to be their main activity when they come in and meet all the residents. They're going to play bingo. So they're going to have like their own party for Christmas.
So
it's going to be really nice.
I never win, but it's so fun.
Did they have a good time doing it? The bingo? That's
Oh, the residents?
Yeah.
Oh, they love it.
They do?
They love it. They get
They have like their daughters or whatever they're called. They're like, I win.
Yeah, I do the Monday Night Football thing at Wheezy's, and like, giving somebody a raffle ticket. So you think I gave them gold, you know?
Yes.
They're like so excited, and then it's like, here, you won a koozie, and they're like, yes, come on,
a free thing.
You know, yes, I didn't have to pay for this koozie, you know. But no, I get better prizes. But it's like it's cool that stuff like that keeps people entertained. It's fun, and now you got the kids involved with it, and they get to kind of lead it. Or what do they do?
Yeah, they'll lead it. They'll be be the ones calling out the numbers. They'll be the ones helping out certain residents if they have like the little like
the little
tabs. And they'll be like there, and then someone will be like, "You're cheating," and then
you're cheating. And then they start
Ethel, knock it off. You're cheating again.
Did you say Ethel?
Yes, that's like a retirement home name, right? Mabel,
Gertrude. What else can we come up with?
Dottie.
Oh my goodness! Come on, your turn.
Barb.
Go.
Carol. Did you say Carol? Carol.
Carol. Yeah, that's a good one.
We're saying all lady names.
So anything else you want to leave us with? We got about 30 seconds.
So yes, if there are any other high schools that I didn't mention, I apologize in advance that I didn't. I just didn't know. I'm not from here. But if you would like to reach out to me, or if any student wants to reach out and join the winter program that we have going on for the break, go ahead and just email me or give me a call.
All right. So thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for all you do. And I hope you continue to grow and grow and come back with an update about the different things that you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
All right. And with that, What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Arnales, Juan Garcia, Dave Reek, and Cecilia.
And you can find out more about KAWC at kawc.org, on Facebook at KAWC Radio, and on the KAWC app. And stay tuned following our program for KOFA Midday Music.
And we are taking a break, but we're going to have Thanksgiving specials. The show will not take a break. It will go on. So make sure you check that out all week long.
And you can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio, and email us if you want to be a guest at whatsup-yuma-radio@gmail.com.
All right. Do you want to come up with the one on your own now?
Any old lady
names? Old lady names? Old lady names, hurry up.
That's a guy name like Marv.
You got 3 seconds.
See you Monday, guys.
All right. Okay. I shouldn't put her on the spot like that anyway. Thank you. You've been a good sport.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma and Imperial Valley Wealth Management, offering solutions for those who value financial planning. YIVWM.com.
You are tuned into KOFA Yuma Border Radio 94.7 FM and 1320 AM. We can also be heard with the KOFA app and at kawc.org. We have been a service of Arizona Western College since 1970.
Ballet Yuma will present The Nutcracker December 12th through the 14th at Snyder Auditorium. The performances will include a sensory-friendly presentation on December 13th. More accessible to a neurodiverse audience, it will feature lower volumes, less light contrast, and audience behavior flexibility. All performance details are at balletyuma.org.